Hello guys, welcome to JavaScript Classes tutorial. Classes in JavaScript are very important these days. In this video, I will explain the concept of classes and how it implements prototype-based object-oriented programming. Classes were introduced in ECMAScript 2015. The concept of classes is different in JavaScript than other object-oriented programming languages like C# or Java, because JavaScript is a prototype-based object-oriented programming language. If you don't understand prototype-based object-oriented programming, please watch my previous video. Its link is in the description. Let's first learn some important terminology. So what is a class? A class is a blueprint or template from which other objects are created. An object is an instance of a class. A class defines behaviors and state of the object, which are called members. Behaviors are implemented as methods and state is implemented as properties. Properties can have getters and setter methods. These are special methods which are fired when value of a property is retrieved or set. And members can be private or public. The public members are accessible as properties and methods of the objects created from the class, whereas private members are only available within the class in which these are created. In addition, public members can be inherited by the derived class, whereas private members are not inherited. A class can have static members. Static members are accessible through the class, whereas non-static members are called instance members, and these are accessed through the objects created from the class. A class can extend or inherit from another class. The class being inherited is called parent or superclass. All the public members of its superclass are inherited by the derived class. Let us see how a class is defined in JavaScript. To define a class, you write the class keyword and then name of the class. In this case, name of the class is person. Then within a pair of curly braces, you write the methods and properties of the class. And then you instantiate objects from the class, just like instantiating objects from the constructor function. The syntax is same. You can use the instance of operator to check whether the person1 is instance of person class. It returns true. Similarly, you can use type of operator to check the type of person class. So a class is just an enhanced syntax of constructor function. You can write a constructor method within the class body. Just write the constructor keyword and mention parameters within parentheses. And within body of the constructor method, assign parameter values to properties of the objects being created. You can have only one constructor method in JavaScript. There is no concept of overloading in JavaScript. When instantiating the object, you can pass arguments. Here I have defined full name function on prototype object of the person class in traditional way. It still works. But now we can write the functions like these within the class body. Here I have moved the full name function within the body of the class as a member of the class, but internally it is just available as function of prototype object of the class. Note that the function keyword is not written before the function name. Here on this line, I have initialized a variable object count on the person class. Recall that a class is a function and a function itself is an object in JavaScript. So object count variable is created on the person object. And within the constructor of person, object count is incremented each time an object is created. So I am using this variable to count the number of objects created from the class. Here on the last line, object count variable is printed as 1. Technically, this kind of members are known as static members. These are invoked through the class and not through the instance of a class. And now we can define the static members within the class using static keyword. So here I have declared and initialized the object count using static keyword. And there is no need to declare it outside the class body. The object count is a public member and you can easily change the value of object count outside the class. So I need to make the object count private so that it is not accessible outside the class. Here I have placed a hash or number sign before the object count and now it is considered as private member. And now when I try to access it outside the class, it results in error. To access it outside the class, I can create a static method inside the class which will return a value of the private variable object count. So here I have created getObjectCount method, which is a static method, and it is accessed here outside the class. You can make any member private by just placing a hash sign before it. It can be a static member or it can be an instance member. It can be a property or it can be a method. What are getters and setters? These are special kind of methods which are automatically invoked when value of a property is set or accessed. These are used to validate the values before these are accessed or set. Here in this example, getter and setter methods are written for first name property. Here, I have created a private variable to store the property value. On the next line, getter method is implemented by writing the get keyword first and then name of the method. This method simply returns the value of private variable. However, you can write any logic here to return the value. Next, setter method is written using set keyword. Inside the method, you can write the validation logic and then set value of the private variable. To make a property read-only, you simply omit the setter of the property. And the property will work like a read-only property. Inheritance is another important feature of JavaScript classes. A class can inherit only from a single class, so there is no concept of multiple inheritance in JavaScript. Here, I have written employee class which extends person class. Please note the extend keyword. And then salary property is added inside. The first name property is written in the person class, so the derived employee class automatically inherits it. Please remember, only public members including constructor are inherited by the derived class, no matter these members are instance members or static members. It is not necessary to write constructor in the derived class. It automatically inherits the constructor of the base class. If you look here, I have written constructor in the derived class which accepts salary as parameter. Here, I have called super function, which is actually a call to the constructor of the base class. In this case, there is no constructor written in the base class, so no parameters are passed in the super function. When there is no constructor written in a class, it automatically creates one internally. Here, I have written a constructor in the person class and then accessed while creating the instance of employee class. This shows that constructor of the base class is automatically inherited by the derived class. Here, both of the classes contain constructor methods, and super is used from the derived class to call the constructor in the base class. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell button to get notifications of my upcoming videos. Also share and like the video, and finally let me know your feedback by writing a comment. All the best.